Hi.
Hi. Hi, we're here.
Hi.
And guess what? We got some fucked up shit going on.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
And also the game.
I love that you're rubbing it with your hands after your cat rubbed her butthole all over it.
That's okay. Her butthole was on this side, not this side.
Literally before we came on camera, everybody, like before we got online, she lifted. Abby, please do a little demonstration of what happened.
Oh, Shuri, my black cat, was sitting on the book, so I tried to pull the book out from under her. And then it kept going, and the cat remained on the book.
And the cat came with the book.
Yeah.
I was like over here with the cat on
your bookmark.
It's fine. It's fine. Anyway, hi.
Hello.
How's it hanging? How's it going?
Hanging low.
Well, we're all about low-hanging fruit here.
Like you do.
I hit every branch when I fell out of the awesome tree.
Thank you, Liz.
Rob's little nose squinch of like, bad joke, funny but bad joke.
Thank you, Liz and Artemis, for the resubs. Appreciate you both.
Thank you a long time.
Yeah, you have. Holy balls. Our first sponsor for tonight is Canadian Dice. You can go to canadiandice.ca, use the code THEVACTER, all one word at checkout, to get 15% off of your order. And we are sponsor. Maggie, what's your dice pick of the week?
We are sponsored by Canadian Dice. Use code THEVACTER, all one word at checkout at canadiandice.ca, and buy Eldritch Blast, the cool dice that if you like warlocks, and if you do like warlocks, you might be here because you're probably queer. Queer people like warlock tieflings. They're sparkly and green. Do you feel attacked? Do you feel attacked, Abby?
I feel a little attacked.
Do you feel attacked?
No, I don't feel attacked for that particular reason. I just feel very codified.
Yeah, the way that you read it at the beginning, at least, I was like, "Are you being held captive? Are we holding you captive? Like, are you reading a script?"
Blink twice if you need help.
At wand point.
Do you know what's messed up is that it's my favorite copy pasta, so I'll say it in conversation with people who don't play regularly with the Vacter. Like I hang out with Link a lot, and I
use the Vacter. All one word at checkout for 50%.
I'll just bring it up.
You know, next time we gotta coordinate. We all have to just say it at the same time while looking into the camera.
Dead eye.
Then we'll really not be considered a cult.
Yeah. For legal reasons, we're a religious thing. We're not.
Actually, there are people trying to start a cult. I'll talk about that later.
Thanks to Elodie and Rob for being here as well with your resubs.
Hey,
what?
I forgot to say the letters are really pretty and the numbers. I have to do that every time too.
Yes.
Or else still, you know, I have to make sure, right? See, I said it.
Yep, good job. Proud of you.
Maggie, is your sub still going? I know I gifted you a 6-month or something.
Maybe.
While you're figuring that out, we are super excited to be collabing with Monument Studios for their Fantasy Plus Kickstarter. It is currently 150% funded, and they have started unlocking stretch goals, which includes a Discord integration. It's well on its way to actually getting an app developed, so that's amazing. And you should go and check it out. All of the audio that's going to be featured on the Vacter is going to be from Monument Studios, with a couple others thrown in just because I need my fart sound. And I haven't found it in the 5,000 content creator-friendly, copyright-free audio that Monument Studios offers.
How does one trademark a fart sound? How do you copyright that?
I don't know, but I'm sure it's a thing. I don't know. Anyway, if you go to tinyurl.com/vacpack-fantasy plus, that'll take you right to the Kickstarter, and you'll be able to check it out. So if you do, let us know. We'd love to hear that you're going to use it at your in-person table or your online games. And, Yeah. Do the thing, because it's awesome. Ooh. You want me to read this verbatim? It's that time again. If you're interested in running.
Have to read it.
I thought we were done with running. It's just players now, right?
Everybody has until Sunday or Saturday at noon to get me their shit.
Oh, Halloween.
You can't have Halloween because it's already been taken.
I wanted Halloween though.
Well, you should have gotten to me sooner.
I meant to. Did I not? I'd never sent it.
No, you didn't. I'll see the schedule again.
Just put me somewhere. It's fine.
So what's the announcement?
Yeah. If you're interested in running a game for Spooktober, we have a couple of days still open. Most of the evenings not many. Most of the evenings are booked. Sundays, from what I saw, are mostly open. And if you want to run during, I was getting there. If you want to run during the day, we do have spots available. So that is also an option if you're in another time zone where the daytime works better for you, or you have a day off, feel free. It's not just the 8 o'clock spot on the weekdays or whatever. And we're totally fine with having multiple on like a Saturday or a Sunday. So if a Saturday's already taken, starting at like, I think 9 o'clock is when Foxy's game is on, you can have it at like 2 or 3 or 4 in the afternoon. So if you want to be a game master for our Spooktober for Extra Life event this year, just message Artemis over on Instagram or email us or whatever and let us know. But we need to know by the 31st at noon because shit's filling up and we got to start making the tables. So
we have some cool games being run.
We have some cool games being run, and we have a lot of prizes that are going to be incoming for donations. So if you donate during that event, we have a whole whack of stuff from like Extra Life, Monty Cook Games, Frog God. Yeah, we got a lot of stuff coming in. So just keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. Oh, a Gooey Cube, of course. Gooey Cube too.
He messaged me from like the Bahamas to tell me that he was gonna donate.
He's so
like,
silly.
bro.
Are you sure it was him? Because somebody took over his account.
It was him.
Oh, okay. Anyway, tomorrow Cedar is over on DM Jeremy's channel at 8 o'clock for Into the Weird West. And Friday we're back for Fixious Titans at 8:30 here, which is our new level 1 campaign. It won't stay at level 1, I hope, because murder. It's got some
Level
legacy
1
characters.
characters.
You guys are squishy.
Through the campaign. 100 episodes, level 1.
Yep.
Yep.
It's just going to be rat killings every week.
Yep.
No leveling.
They're just farming
rat
XP.
murder. But we never level.
There's something to be said for a D&D party that just becomes the city's exterminators.
That is true. That is true.
And the pests keep raising in challenge rating.
Thanks for the level 1 hype train, everybody. Really appreciate you guys. And podcasts. You can download our podcast wherever you catch your pods from. So, party. Formerly Dungeons and Dragons players, now Candela Obscura players, for the time being. You have been briefed and given a task to wipe out the rifts that have ultimately led to a lot of the prisoners here within Brükensheer. Brükensheer, sorry, not Shire. I know my own words.
Do you though?
Brükensheer.
Totally. Brükensheer. Uh-oh,
Oh.
who'd we lose?
Bye.
Nope.
Bye, Agni.
Maggie. Oh,
Oh,
Agni.
Maggie's here.
Yeah.
It wasn't
Uh-oh.
Maggie this time. It was Agni.
Uh-oh. Now we're all in the wrong boxes. Oh, there
I'm
you
not
are.
sure.
Now we're back.
You guys can't see me.
Your lightkeeper, Moria, has directed you to follow Quest, her right hand and a little bit of her left as well, in getting those rifts closed. At the end of the last session, you ended up on the street, which was made from very nicely put together cobblestone roads with a trolley seemingly run on electricity moving down
Whatever
it.
that is.
Oh, the red box. Gotcha.
Some sort of lightning gathering. It's very strange. You are aware of things like the lightning rail and what have you, but you don't see any blue crystals anywhere. You don't see any sort of magical implementation within the exposed engine on the rear of the trolley. It's very strange. But it falls into what Moria has told you. That magic is limited here because this is the prison within the prison. And it puts everybody on an equal playing field. So, Quest, you are on your way to lead the party to the rift that they ripped through. See if your audio works.
Indeed.
Oh, there you go. You don't sound like you're a million miles away.
I do not.
Wonderful. So, with that said, where are you headed? Are you headed directly there? Are you going to do a supply run? What's the plan?
Supplies are always good.
Out of character moves, did we discuss? Oh, I know. Did we discuss how to close the rift? It was to contain. It was to find the item causing it, item quote unquote, and to contain it within a vial. Correct? Or like the Ghostbusters sucker upper machine.
More or less, yes. You've been given bleed containment
ghostly
vials that will allow you to contain the item that the rift is anchored to, because that seems to be what the catalyst is. Something that was used to either power the rip in the rift or was an item belonging to the people or person that came through the rift. It's difficult to say what you're actually going to find, but you do have varying sizes of bleed containment vials that will allow you to contain pretty much anything up to the size of about a briefcase. So, with those supplies, you have like your bleed containment and everything. And what sort of supplies are you looking to obtain for this venture quest?
You know where we're going. What do we need?
Can we see in the dark in this campaign or no?
Nope. You
We
are
probably
pure
wanna-
humans.
Yeah, we want a light source probably.
Torches
Oh,
are
yeah.
definitely...
Oh,
It's
can we, like,
morning right now, right?
Can we
Okay.
camera cut to that moment when Atlas was going down the stairs with only 2 legs when Maggie wasn't here? Yeah. We all like, it was always like down the hall like
I'm so fast now. I can go up and down so fast. It's like before I only got half movement because it counted as difficult terrain.
You had quarter movement going up and down
Quarter
stairs
mo-
or ladders.
That doesn't make any sense. Horses can go upstairs.
Not ladders.
Oh yeah.
Never seen a horse on a ladder.
Meanwhile,
Remember we had to fight the skeleton king.
Rosira lost her balance and fell on her face.
And took
Ah,
a damage box to the bleed.
guys,
to the
I actually have to move my legs now. I can't just,
Zoom.
Zoom.
Yeah.
Maybe
There's
that
no
was good for you.
numing.
Oh,
You
that
actually have
too.
to walk.
Maybe that's good for you. Your legs were starting to look a little emaciated.
Well, now they're not, and I turn around and Atlas is voluptuous.
The biggest
Yeah.
badonkadonk you have ever
That's
seen in
funny
your
because
life.
when you weren't here last week, we said that too.
No, somebody told me that I did have a luscious ass.
The thickest ass.
Mhm. As a centaur, you
Oh
know.
God!
I'm
Like literally, we're gonna
Pretty
walk,
sure I
walk
messaged
out.
you and said you have a dump truck.
Like literally, we're gonna walk out on the street, and Atlas is like all of us, just regular ass fucking people. Keelai being built like a shit brick house, of course, and like wearing a leather daddy vest, but Atlas, big as hell, like hot as fuck, and everyone's gonna be like clamoring for his number or whatever.
My number, well, I once did races, and my number was usually 10th because there were 10 other people in the race.
Oh
Buddy.
no.
10 other people or 9 other people?
Oh, 9 other people because I'm the 10th one.
Oh.
I'm not good at math. We didn't have that in the carnival.
There's a lot of stuff you don't have in the carnival.
Well, we did have math, but it's like knowing which
Anyway.
names to give back people.
Quest, you know what we need. Aside from light source, that was a good idea.
You are going to need light sources. Probably things like rope, grappling hooks. There's a possibility you might have to actually descend into the old town.
Good thing
Are we
that
descending into the old town, Quest?
You don't know what the old town is.
Whatever that means.
I know, Cedar's saying that, Quest. Like, Cedar is sticking their big face in there.
Just like
excuse
coming
me.
through the sky like the king
Yeah.
in Holy Grail.
Yep.
Yeah, when the
That's
old
my
town
vibe.
area loads, it like makes the Dark Souls noise. Old town. No, but
This whole area makes that sound.
we need rations and like water. Like food and water.
Entirely up to you if you would like to hydrate or dehydrate.
I would prefer to hydrate personally. Dehydrating is bad.
Is
Okay.
there a churro cart?
Of course. Enrico's churro cart exists in all planes of existence.
Yes.
What else do we need?
We go shopping trip.
Yeah. Do we need like? Do we know if we're going to be able? I know we have to contain the item, but are we going to be able to physically touch the item, or is that like?
We don't
No.
know.
Moria did
Yeah.
advise you not to make physical contact with the objects.
So we might want like, do they sell like? I have this for the laundry machine because I'm really short, but like a grippy. Do they sell you old grippy?
Tongs.
You could
Athelstan-
probably find some tongs or something like that, yeah.
Athelstan holds up his clockwork hand and like articulates the joints. We were told that I could pick it up with.
Well, what if you get knocked down and then you have to get back up again? But after we touch the thing, we can't just like.
You get knocked down, you get up again.
They're never
But-
going to keep you down.
Never gonna keep me down.
What's happening right now?
But maybe the tongs could be
I'm
used for.
sorry, I couldn't resist.
Mhm.
We agree, so we do it.
Yeah, so we got tongs. Is somebody writing this down, by the way?
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm writing everything
And
down.
keep in mind, you need to decide who is carrying it because you only have so many equipment slots for yourself per like
Yeah.
mission.
Mm-hmm.
So each of
And-
you have 3 unless otherwise written on your character sheet.
Are we going far, Quest? Are we going to have to sleep rough? What's the deal?
You're staying within the city. It's just on the outskirts of the city. It depends on if you need to go to the undercity or not, how long it's going to take you to get there and get back.
Probably
Sure.
won't need. Okay.
What?
Probably won't need rations then. I don't think.
According to my sheet, I only have 1 slot to work with because I already had 2 checked off.
Yep. That is correct.
a light source I'm concerned with. Does everybody have some sort of a weapon? Aside from Razira. Razira, those are very big guns.
Why would I have a weapon?
Can you do magic still?
Right.
No.
I mean, I can do magic, but not magic.
He tilts his head.
Do you do the thing with your thumb where you like make it look like you take the part of your thumb off?
Oh,
Is this your card?
No.
Yeah.
oh, oh.
Oh, you do? Athelstan's just like,
Breeze does have a measure of magician's sleight of hand.
if you did get his nose, you see him blush like a white man for the first time. He's one of the, and you can't really tell very easily because he's purple, but when he blushes, it's very obvious. The tips of his ears turn red, and it goes all the way down his neck. I have my nose back.
And it's back.
What was the smallest containment device we got from Moira?
Moria.
Vial for blood.
Moria.
It's essentially the size that you would have like a fountain pen into.
Small,
Like,
medium, and large.
I don't know if you've ever been to a nightclub that has like test tube shots. That's kind of the size you have. So you have that
Sometimes they're
size,
shaped
and
like
then
dicks.
like up to briefcase size. There's like a couple different variations and configurations that'll allow you to contain pretty much anything that would be handheld by a person.
Cool. Are we going to need rope, Quest?
Better to have it and not need it.
Okay.
Yeah, we were told rope and grappling hooks, right?
Sure.
Would that be considered under like survival gear? Because I
Yeah.
have that as like a thing on my sheet that I can take that as my gear.
Absolutely, you can
Yeah.
use that as
you
your
look over and you have like a lesbian spelunking kit.
specifically
so many
Yeah.
carabiners.
lesbians.
So many carabiners.
Like, yeah, because I would have grabbed my pack then, like before we left the
Mhm.
lighthouse then.
Mm-hmm.
So
my
we
God,
have
my
at least one length of rope and pythons.
Yeah, you've got a fair bit of. I'll say the survival gear will include like one canteen of water, a little bit of first aid. Atlas would also have their medical bag, which also has some ability to do some first aiding in it.
Yeah. I also get a small mundane invention and research materials.
What's your small mundane invention?
The grippy cloth.
Oh.
I don't know any idea.
You only have like your lab equipment as part of your pre-prepared gear. So the lab equipment would include like the first aid doctor's bag situation. Anything else you can sort of pick when you need it. There are just a couple things that you're going to want to prepare ahead of time and determine who has it.
Yeah.
We'll take up the front with the light if we need it.
I apparently am wearing body armor, so I'll be up in front too.
I also have body armor on.
I have no idea where Razira got the body armor or the hand weapon.
She's
Some
also
of
wearing
this
pants.
stuff,
You're also wearing pants.
yes,
You're generic.
like we talked about last session,
Starter gear.
some of this is things that you were given that sort of transitioned from where you were and who you were before. So Atlas, the only thing for sure that you have is laboratory equipment.
Okay.
If you want to take body armor, that's fine. That's just
No.
2 of 3 that you would.
Got it. Okay, so it's what's checked. Got it.
Right.
Yes.
All I'm imagining is just Brazier is wearing so much freaking stuff, it just counts as body armor.
Hmm.
Just like a whole
Um,
meat suit.
what does the bleed detector do?
The bleed detector acts like the. I mean,
EMF.
yeah, an EMF is a perfect example. It's going to be tracking the location of where the bleed item is. So, that in mind, it's not necessarily going to lead you directly to the object that you're looking for, as there are other items that may pull that tracker one way or
Detect
the other.
magic.
No, it doesn't work.
But it lights up like a Christmas tree. No,
It's
I'm
more
saying
like
it's
a
like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you don't see it. You see it on like the instrument panel on the bleed detector, and it acts sort of like a divining rod towards a source of bleed. But again, that doesn't necessarily mean it's going to lead you to the bleed item you're looking for. It could lead you to a creature or a person who's been infected by the bleed. It could lead you to a building that is covered in bleed. So use with caution, but if you're in a space where you think you know where it is, you can always say at that point, oh, I pull up my bleed detector. And that's when you check it off on your list.
Do we want to bring that, or do you all think that it won't be that useful?
Do we need it? You
It's always
seem to know where we're
good to have
going.
one.
Yeah.
I have mine.
You have yours on you, Agni?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
And we probably don't need two of them.
Yeah, I think we only need one.
Great. This campaign's version of the EMF detector. Time for all the ghosty shit.
Yep. Who are you gonna call? Not me. Where do we go?
So I can lead to where I found you, but it might not be exactly where the artifact is.
It's a start.
Mm-hmm.
Are you going to walk or are you going to take the trolley?
Faster.
What's
Do
a
we
trolley?
trust it?
What's a trolley?
Quest, you know what a trolley
Electric
is.
wagon. Electric wagon.
Oh, the red box.
Yes.
What is an
Not the blue
electric?
box.
Will it get us close to where we need to go?
It's like lightning.
Eventually, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, it's already gone, so how do we catch it?
Run.
You can run.
I have a feeling that I will be much winded much quicker than I normally would. I can't run. I don't feel like I can run 10 miles.
We also have two people who are on two legs for the first time ever. I don't think that's a smart idea. So maybe we just walk for now.
We agree, so we do it.
I would walk 10,000 miles an hour.
Perfect timing. Hydrate, everybody. So you start
While we're
walking down the
walking-
cobblestone street.
Yeah, while we're walking, Athelstan's just like, he's taking in like as much as he possibly can.
Yeah, I'm definitely keeping an eye out for people who are like watching us.
Like looking
Okay.
for like the equivalent of thieves' can't. Like he recognizes thieves' can't, but like he probably ain't gonna find it here. As far as he knows, he's wondering if he will.
Okay.
Just anything out of place.
Anybody who's interested in doing so can give me a survey roll.
Yeah, could I look for druidic shit, I guess?
Sure.
Okay, so then I roll survey, so that would be 3 dice plus.
For you? Yep.
Yeah, okay.
Just 3 regular die for you. You don't
You
have a
have-
gilded.
You have
And when it
3
has that little
dots
thing filled in,
survey.
that means it's got a gilded die, right?
Yes.
Okay.
The diamond. When the diamond is filled in, that means
Yes.
you have a gilded die in there.
Okay.
So there's a dot, you just use 1, right?
Yes. And if you don't have any, you're going to roll 2d6 and take the lower.
Take the lower.
Keep the lower.
Mm-hmm. And do we?
Four?
Oh, quick refresher. Do we give the total, or do we give the highest die we rolled?
Highest die unless you're at disadvantage, which you're
5.
5, 4, 4, 5.
Hold on. I'm gonna roll, but I didn't grab my dice.
Did I roll 2 or 3?
You didn't grab your dice.
You are rolling 2, but one of them is gilded.
So a different color.
Mhm.
To be special.
Okay.
Or flavor.
I rolled 6.
Roll a 6.
I rolled 2 5s. So 5.
Okay,
I also
awesome.
screenshot it and sent it to Offie. Just
All right. So everybody rolled pretty good. Nobody rolled beneath a 4, right? Everybody was above a
No.
4? Awesome. So I'll say for your entire party, 4 and up, everybody rolling. That's really awesome. You see a lot. I'll say for everybody but Quest, it is a little overwhelming what you're looking at. There's the familiarity of a bustling city here, but the architecture's wrong. And you guys have been lots of places. You've seen all manner of architecture and infrastructure, and there's just something unnatural here. The buildings are too tall and too square. The cobblestone, like I said, is just too perfect. Sidewalks, like, what the hell is a sidewalk? But you see like pieces of square slate that are butted up against each other that you're walking on currently that is separate from the cobblestone. Obviously, you see the rails that the trolleys follow. It's not like... You can tell this is like a residential area. Probably on the upper echelon of aristocracy. But it just feels wrong. Like there's an uncanny valley to it. It just doesn't look right. Or it looks too perfect. And that unnaturalness kind of gives you this oily, icky feeling down your back.
Industrial Revolution.
That is another thing too. You're familiar with fireplaces and everything, but what you're seeing, instead of full chimneys, you're seeing pipes coming out of roofs that are letting whitish fumes out. You see, there's no obvious sort of outset where you would normally see a chimney attached to a fireplace inside of a room. It's just these square buildings with the pipes on the roof. And it's just strange. And you don't see other things that are sort of telling to you either. Like a lot of houses that you're familiar with, particularly in the upper echelon, they have things like, second story delivery doors. I don't know if you've ever seen those, but they're pretty crazy.
What did you say? Second story delivery door?
Yeah.
Yeah, where like the barn doors kind of open up and there's like a thing that raises a platform up to that second level.
Yeah.
Okay, I've seen these. Okay.
The doors
You
without
probably-
balconies.
They're not used anymore, obviously, but like I have one in my house for...
Wait, I didn't see that when I was there.
You were in the room it was in.
I didn't notice it. I have a low wisdom. You have to realize my passive perception is shit.
It's okay. I didn't know about your back porch until Vince told me about it the other day, and I was like,
Y'all have
Really?
a back porch too?
Oh, it's a sunroom, but yes. Anyway.
yeah.
Is it wisdom or did you fail the investigation check?
Just perception in general, because it's a big door.
In general. I was too busy trying to concentrate on Dex not to fall down the stairs.
That's fair.
'Cause I'm focusing.
Anyway, so you don't see these here. You don't see any sort of second floor delivery openings for things like wood or coal or whatever. There are a couple shops that you pass on your way that you're able to collect a couple of the items that you're looking for. So if you wanted to get more like water canteens or anything like that, you're free to do so. I won't count that as part of your equipment. Just sort of a, you're going out for the day. It's a picnic, lunch type situation. That's
Yeah.
the expectation.
I love jelly donuts, and I just have like a thing of like onigiri, like in Pokemon.
You see Enrico's churro cart. It's a cart that is attached to the back end of a horse and smells deliciously of fried dough and cinnamon and sugar. You see a couple other little shops. Some of them are actually built into the first floor of these manors or estates, while others are sort of standalone brick and mortar boxes that have anything from very specific niches. Like you can see there's like a tailor and a dressmaker, but then you see things like general goods.
Dollar Tree.
Not in this neighborhood, but yes.
I'm gonna swipe a
Oh yeah, we're not in the hood.
Does it seem like we're in like a sort of middle class neighborhood?
Upper class.
Upper class.
Lower
Okay.
upper, yeah.
No, up.
Oh, up. Oh, aristocratic. Yeah, I forgot you
Yes.
said that.
Are
Okay.
there any blood spur in the uppercratic neighborhood, like in Scald?
What'd you get on your survey check again? You got a 5?
Yeah,
I got a 5.
No, you don't see any blood spur.
Thank God.
But if you rolled a 6.
I mean, that's a completely different question.
If
Anyway,
I rolled a 1, I would.
I'm gonna swipe some pastries.
from Enrico's,
That's a small
Okay.
business.
give me a control or a hide check.
236. Gilded.
Sorry,
236. One's gilded.
which one's gilded?
6.
The 6 is gilded. Okay, if you used any drive, you can take a drive back. But
Okay.
yes, all right. Yep, you're able to just kind of palm a few pieces of churro in varying stages of cinnamon sugar. Cinnamon sugaring. Cinnamon sugary. Yeah. Anyway. So you can have like 3 pieces, 3 churro sticks.
Okay.
And Crimson redeemed a drive for the party. So you have 1 drive that you can use, whoever decides to use it. Okay,
I'll write it down.
I've got it too.
awesome. So as you're walking along, like I said, is there anything in particular you're looking for with those survey rolls, or just sort of the general vibe of the area?
Anybody who seems to be watching us or following us may have like seen us come out and started to follow us.
Okay. 5 and up? Who had 5 and up? Maggie, Quest, Breeze. Okay. You don't see them, Keli, but Atlas, Quest, and Breeze, you do see there are some people looking at you. You're not sure if they're looking at you because you're you, and you're getting a little bit of a dysmorphia about yourselves in particular, because Athelstan isn't purple, Atlas doesn't have 4 legs and 2 pairs of pants. Breeze is not a satyr. You know, there's this mental
There is
shift.
not a cat.
Naked.
There's this mental shift of we're so used to being looked at because we're so weird, but we look like everybody else. And it takes you kind of thinking that before you realize that people are looking at you not because you're weird. There seems to be another reason, though you're not sure what it is.
Is it the pile of blankets that Razira is wearing?
No, it doesn't seem to be specific to Razira. It seems to be just your party as a whole. But nobody's following you. It's just sort of, the guy on the corner kind of looks over his newspaper at you as you pass by. Or There's another a lady that's standing in what looks to be a box of some sort, but made for one person. That's stationary on the side of the road. And they have some sort of conal item to their ear. And they're just watching you go by.
I lean over to Athelstan. I'm like, that's a really weird ride. Normally they move around more.
What?
You know how we had the mine cart? I think that's like an attraction, but they're just standing there with the cone thing.
Cedar is having trouble visualizing
Atlas thinks
this.
that the phone booth with the phone is like a ride at an amusement park.
Okay, it's a
because he
phone booth.
doesn't
Got it. Because
understand what it is.
I was literally just imagining like somebody sitting in a cardboard
Like a
box
cardboard
as if they
box,
were homeless
yeah.
with like a tin hat
Sorry.
on. I was like,
I should have described that a little better.
It's a phone booth, right?
It is a phone booth.
yeah. Okay. So Athos,
Very much like what you would find in London, but not bright red. It's like
and covered in piss.
I mean, there might be piss. You're not close enough to tell.
Survey check. Just kidding.
That would be a focus check.
He can't smell. He can't like smell everything from far away anymore. He's just got this.
Human
Yeah.
sniffer.
Do you like point it out to the rest of us that these people are looking at us? Those of you who saw.
I don't think it's
Like,
supposed
does
to
it-
move.
Like, does it seem like... I don't know the word.
Not like we're the new guys, but like we're the guys who need to. We're the
Yes.
guys that everyone's heard about and need to be kept an eye on, or whatever. Vibe.
Like, does it feel like
Shady.
curious versus like
Shady.
stinky,
Sticky. And
Yeah.
stinky and smelly.
Okay.
Crust,
Quest,
crust.
Atlas, and Breeze can give me a read roll. And keep in mind, you do have that drive if somebody wants to up their dice pool.
I think I'm fine.
I'll use it.
4?
Or
That's a 6.
oh
Nice.
6 and 4.
6 and 4?
what do we declare all the numbers or only the highest?
Just the highest. So I'll say with the 6s in particular, you can tell that these people are watching you intently because you're new. You're not familiar to them in any way, especially in this particular neighborhood. And you're with Quest, who they do recognize.
Oh no, we're the fish.
But
Oh no, we're the fish. We're in
Quest-
prison, and we're the fish.
Quest in particular, you don't recognize these people in particular, but you recognize the vibes. These are likely people who work with the others.
I don't pay him any attention.
Okay.
I bite my thumb at these, sir.
Atlas and Breeze?
Yeah, if I just think it's because we're new, like, I'm not gonna really mention it.
Atlas would
Yeah,
probably.
when new people are in town, you get a little extra look at you.
We're looking at you like you're tourists looking around at it.
Yeah.
I think
Tourists.
Atlas is familiar with this because he lives in a very like people come in and out of the carnival all the time. He doesn't think that people are ill-intentioned. He thinks that they're just being cautious.
I think
he
that's a fair
understands
assessment.
that. So
When Athel stands 4, he's looking for anything in. Oh, sorry.
no, I'm about done though. I was just gonna say yeah. So he doesn't say anything. He just thinks it's like a normal level of. He doesn't think that they're like stinky towards them.
Okay. Athelstan, on your 4 for survey?
Just looking for the 4 for the survey original roll. Just looking for anything familiar.
You don't see
That's what he
any
was looking
thieves'
for.
cant or anything.
Anything
And
that
same with Atlas,
feels-
no druidic.
or even like looking for. I think he's always got an awareness of the green and the black, of course, but now it's like I don't know if I asked about that last time. Does it feel like it's here?
You do not feel connected in the way that you're used to.
Okay. Are there like any weed that's growing up out between the sidewalk cobbles? Or he's looking at all of that kind of stuff, like an autistic on a hike. And
Sure.
when I say that, I mean me.
So you do see some familiarities, like you know what a dandelion looks like. You can see a couple of those sprouting up between the cracks in the sidewalk or the cobblestone. You see, in people's front yards, which are a novelty in and of their own right. You see like hedgerows and, rose bushes, different sorts of cultivated flowers as opposed to wildflowers.
I'm so ready to judge these aristocratic people. What kind of gardens they got? They got that fucking hedgerow shit, fucking boxwoods.
Yeah.
Fucking boxwoods. Any like flowers that don't look familiar or have any particular interesting smell? I think that's just what he would be interested
Not really. Like, there's nothing that sticks out with your 4 survey. Nothing
Are
that.
there trees?
Yeah, but they're very
Like in
clearly,
cages?
Pointedly planted. Like,
Everything's in a row.
it's in a row. It's like one big tree in the front yard, or like a trio of smaller trees, or like one pine tree. It's not forestry by any means. It's very cultivated, landscaped, particular.
Good God.
Is it giving off like the Village vibes? That
Um,
old ass TV show where like everything looked very similar.
It's not totally similar, but there's definitely a similar vibe to everything.
Symmetry.
Symmetry within the property lines.
Things feel symmetrical.
Yes.
It would probably be not disoriented for people from our universe, but disorienting for people like our characters.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
You're very much used to sort of the rustic and the almost haphazard way people decorate their homes or the way homes are built. These are all very, right-angled rows of things, perfectly placed, everything where it needs to be.
My God.
Yeah, I
it's
built
like
houses in The Sims.
It's like the courtyard outside the Institute, Kali.
Yep.
Even that has a level of wildness to it. This is all
Everything is
very
old as shit.
Yes, there
This
is
is all
that.
like over the top.
But this is like everything must be the way it is specifically. Very Stepfordian.
He runs his hand along like the boxwoods, and he's just like touch it. He's like touching things that are like anything that's anything he's being sensory or whatever.
Okay.
And I think he keeps forgetting that there's a solidity to the left side now. I don't think we established if he could feel anything, but there's just complete articulation that doesn't require any thought. It's just the messages.
You have in your left hand, it is your left, right?
Yeah.
I just totally brain farted. You have like minor sensory stuff. It's not like you wouldn't be able to do temperature, probably. Very finite work. Like if you were trying to thread a needle, probably not.
Unless
But
he's
if you,
holding
I mean, even that, like
yeah.
having that ability to feel the thread between your fingers, like you would not be able to do that.
He needs a needle loop, yeah. He needs a little needle helper.
So
Threader.
what you would feel would be things like if you reached over to Breeze and took their hand, you would be aware of. I just had to make a game.
Yay.
Sorry. You would be aware that your fingers, presuming you would hold hands like you've woven your fingers together rather than like this. Either way,
Yeah.
you would be aware of sort of like pressure between your digits and like against your palm and like on the top of your hand. You wouldn't be aware of the temperatures. You wouldn't be aware of any sort of moisture. So if Breeze had sweaty hands.
So he's literally just like the pressure, the contact
I
specifically.
feel like wearing really thick gloves.
Like
yeah.
pressure plate kind of.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool.
That's exactly right, Agni.
I think like unconsciously he'll like run something through like fronds and stuff, not really thinking about it, and just like stops and realizes he could kind of like feel that he was touching something, and he's just like,
Yeah, it's more like nerve ending feedback because you're using your nerve endings to control the fingers, and there is a little bit of feedback with that. But it's not, again, finite, very meticulous touching. You would not be able to feel as a general rule.
this is his new stim toy.
Yeah, I figured. As to what
Keelai,
you're
just
feeling
make
as
sure
you
he
guys are...
doesn't-
Sorry.
I was gonna say, Keelai, just make sure he doesn't wander into traffic while he's doing that.
Yeah, like every so often you have to like kind of grab him
Just,
and
like-
stuff, like just like kind of like herd him like a dog, like
Yep.
sheep. Yeah, I feel like Keelai's probably very used to that anyway. But
Yeah.
I can
Most
keep
of what
moving.
you're touching as you're like walking down the sidewalk is like wrought iron fences with the
yeah.
hedgerows kind of like growing out of them or over
Going
top
through
of
it.
them.
I imagine like you said wrought iron. I imagine there's like a very soft like metallic clink as he like runs his fingers across it as it goes across the copper of his
Yep.
phalanges, and he's just like there's a moment of delight here. It's like childlike almost.
Absolutely. You do get that tinkling sound of metal on metal. And for your feedback, you get, it's almost like a vibration up into the nerve endings in your stump. Quest continues to lead you through the city. You can definitely tell as you move through areas that are less fortunate. It's not a sliding scale. It seems to go up and down kind of based where you are. You move into like a middle class neighborhood where it's very evident that that sort of stringent, almost military, straight everything, it's not as in play here except for the housing. But like front lawns are covered in like kids' toys. You can see like bicycles that have been tipped over and left on the front lawn. Balls and like larger playable items left on front lawns. It's definitely more of a family area.
It's the suburbs.
Essentially. You move through that. And I will say probably about this time, as you're walking down the street, another trolley begins to move down the road behind you.
How do you do it just like you're hailing a carriage? Quest.
Try it.
What?
There's like a bus stop.
How do we get to stop?
There's like a sign like right in front of us that says stop, and it stops in front of us. It does it as you say stop, and then it's like, oh, you did it. That's how you do it. Yeah, good job, Breeze.
There
Good
are
idea.
like bus shelter, trolley shelters along the route that you have passed. And I will say with your survey rules previously, you have seen these. And you're able to put two and two together. The weird thing about the signage, though, is that it doesn't look like it's in common, but you read it like it's in common.
Language is that?
It's hard
We
to
get on the
explain.
trolley.
By saying its name, it converts into your basic language. Your basic language.
So it looks like Celestial to me and Athelstan.
Not really, but you... I'm trying to think of how to explain this. The
There's an
letters
understanding
are not what you're familiar with.
It's like that moment in Percy Jackson when his brain automatically translates Greek into English.
It's like Google Translate
Kind
with the
of,
little subtitles.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like Celestial. It's not a language you
Subtitles.
recognize, but you're able to read it, and your brain automatically like generates it in your first language.
How does that work
Okay.
for Rosera since she couldn't read to begin with?
Ah,
For you,
Still can't.
you can. But it's almost like there is a voice in the back of your head reading it to you.
ghosts.
Is it Morgan Freeman? Is it like somebody cool reading it?
Hell yeah.
Jones.
Yes, Morgan Freeman is narrating for Razira.
Awesome.
Just big ass eyes.
Do,
Yeah.
do not, no soliciting.
So we get on the trolley then.
Yep, we get up
Okay. Quest, you pay for everybody to get on the trolley. It is not expensive, but again, you guys don't recognize the coins. It's very strange because they sort of look like silver pieces, but duller and smaller.
Are these what electrums are? I've never seen it.
No, they're all
No.
circular.
Once-
They don't
No,
have a
I was
hole
just
in
adding
them.
character.
You've never,
Never
se-
seen
you've,
an
never,
Once we
electrum.
sit down,
you've never seen Electrum? Sorry, go ahead.
well, yeah, once we sit down, I'm gonna ask Quest, what happened to our money? Like our money?
Was it with your stuff?
Yes.
Yeah.
Then it was probably converted to the nearest denomination that it registers in this plane.
Oh yeah, I think we did. I did find money in my. Yeah. I thought it was. I don't know what I thought it was.
I go searching through my bag looking for money.
Like weird paper money.
That's, yeah. You kind of reach in and you're like looking around and you see things that you have.
A money clip. Athelstan pulls out a money clip. He's like, the fuck.
You're digging through, Breeze, and you see the item that is pre-prepared for you on your character sheet. I don't want to give away what it is. You see, obviously, like your press badge as a journalist, and paper and pencils. You think like they're pieces of lead wrapped in wood rather than charcoal. So you see
Probably
that.
Probably like a stick of jerky, what that is.
And you don't see any like coins, but you do have like this wreath of papers. And I don't know if you've ever seen them, but have you ever seen like 1700 pound notes?
Oh, them shits are big.
Yeah.
They're like, 6
Actual pieces
inches.
of paper.
Yeah, they are actual pieces of paper that have like a sum on them. So you do see, you have this sort of like folded ream of these individual papers.
Yeah, as soon as Atlas sees people pull out their money, they're like, maybe we don't want to do that here.
I will say, Atlas, because you are very observant here,
Mm-hmm.
there are a couple people giving you guys a little bit of an eyeball.
Yeah, I would recommend we keep that to ourselves.
Athelstan's just literally touching everything. Are there windows?
It's less of a window and more just like an opening. There's no
As we-
glass.
He's
As
like,
we ride on the trolley, I think
he's like-
about the
it's
train.
like feeling the vibrating.
What are you saying, Atlas?
Atlas is thinking about the train that we heard about that we were going to use originally to get people out.
Mm.
He's thinking about that as we're on the train. And so, like, you know that meme of like two people on a bus, one's like happy and the other person's like depressed.
Yeah.
Like Athelstan's looking around and Atlas is thinking about that.
Athelstan is stimming and Atlas is depressed.
He's while not being able to take in as much information, he is extremely overstimulated.
Hmm.
Because he can't spread it out. You know, when you got more surface area, you can spread it out. He's got 2 eyes. That's it. Can't see in the dark. He's not purple, so the sun hurts a little bit more. Is there a sun?
Yeah. You like lean out and look up and it's like, ah, fuck. That was a mistake.
Uh-huh.
The trolley begins to move, and it does have this sort of vibration that fills everybody. So regardless of if you remain standing or you sit down, you can feel the vibration of the movement, the wheels on the rails, and there is this sort of screeching, initial screeching when the brake is released before the engine kicks in and things begin to move.
When that sound when the sound of the engine kicking on happens, Athelstan just like grabs like you know, you do the hand on the passenger in the car. He does that to like freeze it because he just has an instant instinct that something of Tommen's is starting up, and he's like, and it's about to explode.
It does sound very familiar to that. You can hear the sort of chugga 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 of pistons
Gears
and
and
gears beginning to move together. You know, flywheels catching. You get the scent of burning, you want to say kerosene, but it feels like it smells different than that. But kerosene is like your closest comparative. You smell that. You can see smoke beginning to kind of puff out through the rear opening. And then the trolley begins to move.
Somewhere, Keela, I found a cat.
Sure, there's a cat on the trolley.
Athelstan just like releases everybody. Sorry.
No, I thought something was gonna happen too, because every time that there's like been a ride, I haven't gotten to exactly go on it at the carnival, which was kind of like a good thing. So I got scared that I was on a ride again.
Oh. I thought it was going to explode.
I squint and I'm like, "You're not exploded yet."
It's definitely very similar to a ride at your carnival, but much less dangerous.
Everything is much less dangerous than the carnival.
Well,
I don't know if
maybe
you've been
not
there.
the place that we were with the Bunnyland with the forest
Huh?
that tried to eat us.
Oh, in Karator.
Here,
What are you talking
No. No,
Look at Pasta's feet!
no, where
Comfortable.
where the rabbit character had us.
Yeah, well, we got trapped. In
Oh,
Hunger
Valishan.
Games.
Valishan?
Elishan.
Yeah, Valshan.
Bunnyland.
Funnyland.
Don't fuel his ego. He wants it. He wants it so bad.
No, I think Valishan's more dangerous than the carnival, honestly. Because at least at the carnival, we have safety inspections.
You do?
Do you? You do?
We check to see how safe things are, but, you know, we just check. We don't do anything about it, but we check.
Please clip
obviously.
that.
There is literally a sign outside at least 4 of the rides that I saw that say you are X% amount likely to leave this alive.
That's how we get it, because we have to calculate that number via the safety inspection.
What do you do when the safety inspector dies?
We get another one, and then we add it to the math problem. You have to do a thing called division, I think. I only learned addition and subtraction, like, decently, so...
I can't talk. I honestly, I feel like I have no room to talk.
There's a thing called PEMDAS, but then people from other universes, they would be like, no, it's BEDMAS. And I'm like, but it's PEMDAS.
The fuck is... Know what? We're not going there.
You know, like I feel like I can't talk because I literally grew up in what is essentially a game of a single throne. and a frequent part of my life was fratricide or attempted fratricide. So, and I used to show affection by stabbing people. Well, not really, but like that. Looking back now,
As
I
you
thought
say
that-
that, there's a woman sitting across from you that kind of like grabs her purse and just shuffles
He
a
does
little
not
bit
notice it.
away from you.
He doesn't have eyes in the back of his head. He does not see this. He does not notice this.
I thought that when the person stabbed you, though, they lost the game or something.
Oh yes, she definitely lost the game. Oh my. You know what if? Ooh no, we we just have to kill her because anywhere she ends up, she's gonna try and take over. The hubris.
Hopefully not here.
The hubris in that bitch.
If she ended up here, would she even remember it?
We remember it.
I look at Quest to see if Quest knows.
You know that generally speaking, when people are brought here, they have a modified memory of their life, but they don't remember precisely like their domain or who they were or anything like that. The caveat to that with these folk is that they were not supposed to do the thing that they did and need to be returned at some point to complete whatever it is they're supposed to do.
Do you know how everything you guys are carrying kind of converted to match what was here?
Yes.
Yes.
Same with the people.
Oh my god, they become pieces of paper?
They come
Probably in a
they
way.
become part of the tapestry. Yes.
Athelstan leans up in his seat and taps Keelah on the shoulder and says, "Do we know what happened to Straw Herald and the other plants?"
No.
Fuck.
Oh my god,
You
it's
only
like,
have one pair of ears. You shut up.
it's like parents trying to talk like about a pet to around a kid, but they don't want the kid to hear.
And he sits back down in his seat.
Atlas, make a sense roll.
What sense again?
It's under
Sensory.
intuition.
Oh.
Last one.
Oh, okay, I roll one dice. I'm gonna use that edge, just kidding.
No, I already used it.
I
you
rolled a
did?
1.
Yeah, you don't hear it.
Okay.
You're a little overstimulated by the like audible vibration and the engine and all that other shit on this runaway ride.
He sits back. Athelstan just sits back down. He's like, "Wow, it's loud in here and it stinks."
Yeah.
Yep.
Atlas just hears you just hear in Atlas's brain as like it moves to Atlas, just Funky Town playing its head.
And a very distant smoke alarm beeping every once in a while to let you know that the batteries are low.
I ordered the batteries. They're coming tomorrow apparently because I remembered to order the batteries unlike the last time. Or I
It's
forgot to order
happening
them.
more frequently. Why is it happening more frequently? Or are there two at the same time?
No, I just forgot to order the batteries last time, so it's just
No, the beeping. It's happening
no.
closer and closer together.
West, how far are we away from this place?
Yeah, let's go.
You probably, now that you've gotten on the trolley, it's about a 45 minutes.
Shit.
Wow. How big are these seats?
They're like, you know, like on a school bus, it's a bench seat that would fit 2 butts, maybe 3 if you've got a skinny butt.
Yeah, but like school buses, or I don't know how they are where you're at, but they're mad tight.
Yeah,
Them seats
Yeah.
is mad tight. Oh, his knees are up in his ears. Okay.
yeah.
He's like,
And they're
he's
made
like
out of wood, so they're not even cushioned.
Yeah, cool.
Not that
I'm
tall
imagining
anymore.
I'm imagining he was on the inside, huh?
He's
All
not
I'm
that tall
imagining
anymore.
No,
is
I know he's not that tall, but even I'm not that tall, and on the fucking school bus now, my knees, oh my fucking gods.
Especially if
Oh,
you're on
yeah.
a wheel well seat.
Too
Oh,
small. The wheel well
I'll
seat,
never
fuck
sit
that.
in that one.
All I'm imagining is Razira tried to get in there and got herself wedged in there instead of not even being able to sit down, just wedged in because of the clothes. Like,
Because of all the blankets. I can't put my arms down.
Athelstan is just like kind of like is like, hey, so
Like Mr. Incredible in his car at the beginning of the movie.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's very similar to that.
He like, I think he just like kind of unconsciously like tucks his leg up, his knee is it. I can talk. His knee up against Bree's, and he says, "You don't remember the talk. You don't remember the talking plants. Yeah, you don't. You weren't there. Never mind.
Yeah, I was there.
You don't. You remember that?
Yeah, he had them before
Not all of
we
them.
went and had a couple of them.
Have you been reading any? I know you were reading your journals. Anything kind of sparking anything?
We had Straw Herald and Corbin Blueberry and
Shh.
Huh?
I don't know what happened to them.
Hmm.
And he didn't mention it.
I'm gonna pull out one of those weird sticks and the paper and write a note to Quest.
Okay.
Were there any plants when we came through? That came through with us? And hand it
So
off to him with the pencil.
You pass him this. It's like, were there any plants? Yes, no.
Yeah.
Yep. Dude,
Were there any plants with us when we came through? Yes. No.
good idea. Good idea. Yeah. Very subtle.
I'm gonna write in response. I did not rebuild you. I do not know.
Yeah, maybe like I feel like it's like there's like a seagull sound somewhere as like Athelstan and Breeze look at this reply.
Huh.
Won't you take me to Funky Town? Elle's just muttering under to himself as they're in the car.
Flip it over. But didn't you find us? Pass it back. This would be so much easier with the message spell.
Oh my god, I forgot you can't do that. I don't know what I'm supposed to do.
Gotta do the thing where you fold it up like the little paper football.
That's kind of actually how it feels, you know. Sometimes depends on
Loosely,
like how you
yes.
feel.
I do not recall plants.
We'll have to look into it.
Shit.
We'll have to look into it.
Yeah.
You okay? You feel okay? Everybody doing all right? We've been on this thing for a long time.
I
And
can't move.
And the
Everybody but
vibration is
Quest.
very stimulating.
I need you to give me a control roll
Are you about to hit the brakes?
to prevent motion sickness.
So I roll 1 dice.
So I roll at disadvantage.
I have no control.
That tracks.
Razira,
So
yes, you
it's
roll
okay.
1 die.
I got a 3.
A
I got
3,
Oh, I got a 4.
2, 4. Eli?
I rolled a
rolled
3
a
and a 5.
1.
I'm really mad.
Oh no!
I mean,
So-
it makes
We just
sense. Keela gets motion sick on boats, so
That's true. That's
Just
true.
like the equivalent of a cat throwing up in the corner in the
Yeah, it
middle of the
makes
night.
sense for Azir because your ears are all different now too. So
Yeah,
that,
your
like-
equilibrium's off. So your two soldier types, as you're like trundling along, going pretty fast, there is sort of like a rocking to the trolley as it moves,
I don't like it.
almost like simultaneously out of like either side of this trolley.
Great.
I'm
Eli
diving for like
and
a
Razira.
window or something.
That's what I mean. Like you're leaning out of one of the openings.
Okay.
I'm
Yeah.
not sure if Razir could even reach that.
Do you
You're
want
sitting
to
on a
roll for
seat.
it?
You're sitting on a seat.
I
Make
thought
a
you
move
were wedged
roll.
into there. Make a what?
A move roll.
Oh boy.
That's 2 dice.
Mm-hmm.
You're
And
about
you
to
can
lose one of your
use drive
brains.
to add another die.
You are going to take another body point.
I rolled a 1.
Oh my
Oh
god!
my god.
I rolled 2 1s.
So as you're in the I can't put my arms down, you also can't turn enough to actually get to the window. So you just kind of bleh, all over yourself like a toddler.
And you ate a lot at breakfast. Oh.
There are shrieks from around you as the other people on the trolley are like, what the fuck happened? Except like not swearing because, you know, Victorian
What has
era.
happened? No, they were very creative, trust me.
Oh, I know.
Moogly moogly.
The trolley screeches to a halt. The brakes
Smack!
scream as the trolley stops. You think this is probably not expected. And most people evacuate the space immediately.
Have they never seen somebody vomit on a moving vehicle before?
2 people at once at the same time, though?
I think people usually get to a window.
Yeah. I only rolled a 3 on that. Athelstan's like, ooh, and the smell of the vomit's just like,
Yeah, it's a lot. The rest of
Oh,
you
what?
kind of like
Or
escape as well.
yep, all right, cool. All right, come on.
Razira, you're covered in puke.
press the
Or,
digit. Oh wait, that doesn't
This
work
is
anymore.
Yeah,
Not
we both
Razira's
try
day.
to press the digitation and nothing happens. Literally just like, fuck.
Zira's just having a really bad day.
Yeah.
Razira's no good, terrible, very bad
Bad
day.
day.
Athelstan,
Thankfully-
like, sorry, go ahead.
Thankfully, because you have multiple layers on, you can probably just get rid of the top layer and you'll be okay. But that's up to you. If you want to walk
I
around.
think she probably would, just so she doesn't have to smell it.
Okay, that's fair.
Like helps
Are
Razira
you-
bundle it up, and then like takes the little like cloth from his medical bag and helps dab your mouth clean. And he's like, "It's okay. We all get a little sick sometimes."
Is there any peppermint growing on somebody's window right now, like in a herb box or something?
No.
I think I'm gonna walk from now on.
you
Razira,
okay?
you might also want to get used to this temperature because it's really not that bad. Like, I know you said you came from a jungle, but like, those are maybe 10, 15 real degree units higher.
But you also have to take into account that she used to be covered in fur.
And she always had that heated cube.
I love how that's. I imagine that you said that in the third person and like indignantly.
Okay,
Uh-huh.
so
Quite a
Atlas
warm
helps you
day.
get Keeling
Definitely a
down.
lot colder.
Sorry, Agni?
This is definitely a pretty warm day. It gets a lot colder.
That is true.
How comforting. We agree, so we do it.
Great,
Okay.
we're in the Midwest.
So you continue walking from here. Eli
Sorry,
and
my inside
Razira,
thought
you're
thinking
feeling
outside.
like you don't have sea legs almost. There's a little bit of a wobble to the step and you're just not comfy. You do have some water, so you're able to kind of like rinse out your mouths and continue walking. Eventually, you do come to the outskirts of the city. Now, at this point, the city itself has sort of fallen away, and it's not farmland per se, but it's definitely more like warehouses and industry with larger pieces of land. So there's lots of like vacant space as opposed to, you know, houses crushing in on each other or like houses with alleyways, blocks, that sort of thing. The pollution
people?
out here. We'll get there. The pollution out here is thicker because you do have all of that industry out here. And it's not something that you're totally familiar with. You're familiar with like trash and like bodily waste. This is smoky, and there's this kind of acrid tang to the air around you. There's no freshness to it. It feels very like thick, like you could take a bite out of the air itself.
Why do I feel why does it feel humid but oily and dusty at the same time?
I was thinking the same thing. It
It tastes very bad.
why does the air taste weird?
Why is the sky black?
Why does the air taste?
Why?
It reminds me of when I accidentally was making the funnel cakes and I let the oil get too hot and then it started to smoke and then like everything smelled like oil and smoke for like a week and I had to wash the tent out and it didn't. That's another story of how that went.
Yeah, power
Wait,
washing.
you were. How do you accidentally make funnel cake?
No, I was making the funnel cake on purpose. It just got too hot.
Oh, okay.
I didn't even know this was different than how it normally is. Everything feels weird.
It does feel very weird to you and Athelstan in particular, because while you're used to being able to smell everything within like a certain range, you're smelling everything still, but it's very close. Like it just feels like you've got some sort of helmet on and it's just right there in your face. Even the sky here.
Like wipes at his cheek and it's like oily, sweaty, like maybe residue or whatever. He's just like, okay.
Yeah. And even the
We
sky
keep moving
here,
then.
now that you're outside of the city, it's not cloudy, but you would attribute it to clouds, except they don't look right. They're too close. Yes, that's exactly what it is. They're too close. They're too thick. They're not gray or white. They're this sort of
Brown.
icky brown green color. It's just gross. The Lorax would not be happy.
The fuck is wrong with these people?
Production.
What are they producing aside from horrible acrid smell and taste?
Death traps and move on wheels.
Yeah, that too. What'd you say, Quest?
Everything we've seen in the upper city. It all comes from here.
You came from here.
Oh no.
Flat. So you're saying that this is maybe one of the places that they make those big flat road tiles, which is kind of, I have to say, is a very impractical design. That's just going to cause all kinds of runoff in the wrong places. Hang on though, does it rain here?
Yeah.
Does the city flood frequently?
Depends on where you are.
Depends on what part you live in.
That answers that question. The infrastructure here, as much as they seem to really enjoy their hard angles and whatnot and their symmetry, it sucks.
It's true.
Just keep moving.
All right.
To your
It's
question,
prison after all.
that is true. To your question, Keli, there are people around here, though they don't look the same as you're familiar with. They do look like workers. You're familiar with like dock workers or folks who are part of like a caravan. They just have this.
These are all wearing overalls.
Yeah, it's like denim overalls, like
caps.
leather aprons, that sort of thing. There's definitely an unofficial
like
uniform. What was that, Agni?
They all look like Smiths.
Sure.
Tinkeroo.
The scene out of the
Pretty
Newsies.
similar, yeah. Thick, sturdy material is what they're wearing. It's mostly neutral colors like browns, blacks, blues, a little bit of white, but the white is definitely turned gray over time. And there's just sort of it's almost like the pollution is written on their faces. So where you see wrinkles, they just seem so much more wrinkly, essentially, because
Do
of
they
the
go? Do they come up to us and they're like snapping like this, like in fucking Newsies?
no.
It's like the chemical workers song. They'll
Y'all are
time your
awful.
every breath. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And you as you're sort of walking by, there are a couple of warehouse type buildings that you can kind of peek into. And again, you see things that are sort of familiar, but not quite right. Like, what a wheat wheel in a windmill looks like? You see something like that, but it's made out of metal and stone as opposed to wood and stone. You see a kiln for a blacksmith, but it's so much bigger, and there's some sort of like assembly line moving through it with no manual input. The things are familiar, but they're not right.
Is there child labor?
No, we're not doing child labor here.
Oh man, I wanted to free some children.
No, for the safety of all involved, there is no child labor in my universe here.
Are there children here?
I appreciate that.
Have you seen any children?
Yeah, have we seen any children?
You haven't seen any children, but you've seen
Like we saw signs of them, like
signs
the
of
bikes
children.
and shit. But
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, you haven't seen.
Also, the middle of the day. In theory, they should be in a school somewhere.
Should be working.
Or work.
yeah, they should be working.
Fucking terrible.
You get a penny for every button you sew, Timmy. Come on.
No, you haven't seen any youth.
They're just doing the "It's Hard Knock Life" from Annie.
Yeah, they're cleaning the orphanage. Nobody lives in home. Everybody is an orphan.
Okay. Makes sense.
But no, for the majority here, like there's no differential between like gender or age here other than adult.
Everybody's oppressed.
Essentially.
Yeah.
Everybody is working here. Women, men, non-binary, young adults to elderly, not decrepitly elderly, but definitely older.
Yeah.
Visibly older. And there's no joy here. And I don't mean that because you're in a prison within a prison. There's this overbearing sense in the air amongst the smog, amongst the, oppressive atmosphere of just exhaustion and sadness and
Everyone's
in the
in survival
hours.
mode.
More or less, yeah. Yeah, it just seems like whoever's working here is working here for the paycheck, and that's about it.
It's awful.
We need to get out of here as soon as we can.
Yeah. I agree.
That's the plan.
Quest continues to lead you through this sort of industrial area, and the shops and warehouses and stuff that you pass become more of a smaller, probably more family operated than like big industry or whatever. I need everybody to give me a sense roll.
One die.
Fuck yeah.
Okay.
Okay,
2
4.
at disadvantage, and I am senseless.
Oh. Wow.
I rolled another 1.
I rolled my
God,
first 6.
Molly, take your dice.
Throw it down the hallway.
Reroll
This is where-
24.
This is where Rosier dies. If you die in prison, you die in real life in real life prison.
In real prison.
Sorry, Quest, what did you roll?
Rolled a 1, re-rolled to a 4.
How'd you re-roll it?
Drive.
Spend a thingy. Yeah.
You spent a resistance in that case.
Yes, I have 1.
I rolled 6 for my first time rolling a 6 tonight.
Nice. Keli?
Fuck yeah.
2.
Atlas?
3.
Rosier got a 1.
Yeah, it would have been a 6, but I had disadvantage.
Unfortunate. Don't forget your drives. You can give yourself advantage with your drives. Essentially.
Yeah, but I want to
Breeze?
save it for something important.
Fair.
4.
Breeze? 4? Okay. So
You
4 and above,
Do you declare drive ahead or after you see the result?
ahead. Because you're going to
Okay.
roll that with the rest of your pool.
Okay.
And you can use a resistance to reroll.
Got it.
Okay. So 4 and above, you all begin to feel this tug, except for Quest, because this isn't Quest's thing. You feel
Not
the
quest,
tug.
it's quest.
Yeah. You feel it like right in the middle of your chest. And it's just this little, like a pull, just a tiny little jerk. And it's heading northeast of your direction. It's not big. It's not painful. If you've ever like snagged your shirt on a doorknob, it's like even less than that. Like half of that at least. But it's right in the middle of your chest and it just tugs you in that direction.
I think it might even like just instinctively we might just kind of all turn that way.
Except for Zero.
Yeah.
Quest, are we going that way?
Yes.
Weird.
Did anyone feel that?
Yeah. That's why I asked.
Yes.
All right. So you head that way?
I guess so.
What lies ahead? First of all, I'd like to look before I leap.
From what you can see, it's just this sort of open space. There are a couple of smaller outbuildings. You can see what looks to be almost like a junkyard here and there. Everybody make me a survey roll now.
I have my hand on the hilt of my weapon.
Okay.
Including her zero, even though she has no idea.
I would say
No,
because everybody's
we
like
inform you.
speaking about this, you're able to kind of focus and feel it, but you just weren't.
I spaced out.
Survey.
Survey.
Rolled a
I'm
5.
gonna
I
spend
got
it
a
for that.
6.
Nice.
Actually, I'm not going to.
Good job.
So
I got a 6 also.
if I use my gilded die, I get a 6. Anything else, I get a 1. Okay.
If you used a drive, you would get that drive back.
I did not.
Okay. Just something to keep in mind. If you crit on your gilded die, you get a drive back if you used it. So Athelstan has a 4. Keli, you had a 5.
Yes.
Breeze has a 1. Rosier crit. Atlas, you have a 6.
6, yeah.
Okay.
Where did Agni go?
I think
Probably a kid or roommate.
roommate
whatever.
or not.
Nat is technically a roommate.
I mean,
And a
Or a
pet.
pet.
According to Agni.
So weird. Anyway.
So everybody but Breeze. You see it. You're familiar with ruins. You're familiar with the way that buildings crumble. And that's what you're seeing here amidst the junkyards and the outbuildings. You see partial walls with a place where a window might have been, or a crumbled chimney that's little more than the hearth itself now. Mostly stone, but there are some bits of wood structure, like a door frame or what you think might have been rafters that have fallen since. And it just, as much as the junkyards kind of fill that space, it still sticks out. It's still, there's like a sense of wrongness to it, as there is with everything here, it seems like. And worse, you see what look to be large sinkholes spotted around the area. That's where we're going to take a break.
Oh.
You all fall into a sinkhole immediately. That's
You all die!
No,
And the purple
Emily
worm eats you and
already
then
did that.
poops you out and you are worm
Emily
poop.
already did that in the bog where they were doing a Civil War reenactment, but it wasn't Civil War. It was whatever the fuck it was.
Yeah. So we'll be right back.
Terry.
I'm Affy the DM, and this is the Vactaire. If you know, you know.
I swear naturally. But if I have to think about it, I can't. I can't just work the words in. Shit fuck.
Could you just like get them like a bowl of lube and we can get it to go? I don't know at this point what to say or to do.
A bowl of blue.
They make it in flavors.
I will cast guidance on your penis. There you go. Pat pat.
What if we go find a plant, 2 plants that like you connect with, and then we don't just go pick them, but like you connect with them, you know?
We'll find a shrubbery. Make sure it's nice and not too expensive.
Me.
I like glue to be right beside her face.
Move so I'm real close to them just in case
like this?
something happens.
What can I do to help you?
I feel like I'm on
if
some
you're,
psychedelics.
If you're a new DM or even maybe an
Don't play
experienced
with
DM,
us.
you're clearly witnessing DM failure here. Clearly. Engage
I try
your
to move
players.
my piece,
Keep them
I move the
interested
whole
in your
map.
game.
You have feelings and we're friends. You have feelings and we're friends. You have feelings and you're friends.
Don't you make this a pull door because I'll lose my fucking mind.
If I just try to open the door, does it open?
It opens out.
I mean, I'm sure you would have gotten there eventually, but
Well, I don't know why I learned this spell. So,
Flailing around like one of those inflatable tube guys.
oh no!
The wacky flailing arm 2-man.
I don't see you wiggling, motherfuckers. Wiggle.
Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle.
I only wiggle when I want to wiggle.
I'm Jason.
Do you want to wiggle right now?
I imagine duality's wiggling.
You went really deep, man. It's not supposed to be deep tissue.
Your ass was mesmerizing.
You just need to put the tip of the needle in.
Just the tip, just for a second.
I won't be able to sit for a week.
Well, I don't feel comfortable sharing some of the naughty bathroom things I know how to do with a bunch of children. But
why?
What does that mean? What does that mean?
Ask your ghost parents.
Oh god, my husband was here for all that. You cast this spell and the sky
Go
above
off my
begins to
face now.
swirl into this butthole.
They like in circles around you, like do 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 do. And he's saying this out loud too. He's making his own music that he's dancing to. Do 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 bigly, bigly. Do 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 do.
I will not soon recover from this. I have never wanted the death of someone more than right now. Keisha, it was a good fucking game, but I fucking hate Brie. Fucking hate her. I fucking hate her.
No, you don't. You love me.
I do. I do.
When one warforged loves another warforged very much.
I see you, our one true king. We stand Brendan Fraser on this channel. We don't care what time it was. We don't care what his body type is. We stand Brendan Fraser.
Do you hear that, Jeremy? Do you hear that, Jeremy? Go fuck yourself, Jeremy.
Wolf anthros are adorable.
I'm gonna say while you guys are talking, the camera pans out to the lobby, and everybody in the lobby can see that Sheriff is talking to somebody in that office. Not sure who. They're very chatty back and forth, though. For both the Reverend and Jesse, you immediately pick up on a couple things. Not everybody in this town is particularly...
Don't feed the babies lead paint, coward.
They don't stop coming, and they don't stop coming, and they don't stop coming.
Somebody.
Pants. We should go to that family and then see if we can appeal to them. Is that the word I want?
I think it's begging.
We could threaten them with knives.
Oh, okay.
Or
So we have many options.
That's a good idea. Let's threaten them with knives. Just tell them that I murdered the entire family minus one. It'll be fine. What could go wrong?
Nope. I once ran into a Spanish beaver. Interestingly enough, there is no such thing as a Brazilian beaver.
I'm the map. I'm the map. I'm the map. I'm the map. I'm the map.
Yeah,
pretty much.
What? You sounded like you were grapefruiting your man.
I'm just gonna go now.
What's that? You need me? Okay.
Does this mean we win? Does this mean we won again?
I never want to leave here.
button.
You had the button?
I had the
Did
button.
Did you have this time specifically signed out for you to have the button?
Yes.
Your hesitation was very reassuring. I'm gonna have to check your account and the sign out sheet, but we will discuss this at a later time.
Sure. Check the Vactaire for
All one word.
8:30 to midnight on Monday.
Yep, Mondays. And also, you can use the same The Vactaire
All
at
one
our
word.
sponsor.
All one word at checkout.
At CanadianDice.ca.
Get 15% off. Please. Please. They have my family.
Which is hilarious because if Ryan had your family, they would literally just be smoking and like petting his cats.
Yeah, and hanging out with all of his cats.
Literally, I've known some chill ass dudes in my life, but
Playing
Ryan's
some
just
board
like,
games. Like,
yeah, board games. He fucking loves board games. He's just a chill ass dude. And every past Tuesday night whenever we played Deadlands, he's worn a cute little like Toy Story ass looking cowboy shirt, and he's gone out on his porch to smoke, and the kids like be walking by, is like, is that a cowboy?
He got that shirt and the little like neck thing that he wears.
Little bolo, yeah.
For the very first one shot he ever ran for us, which was Deadlands, 3 years ago now. Like, that's wild.
He always looks so excited to put it on. See us over at DM Jeremy's channel.
He's gonna run something in Spooktober for us.
Yeah.
Probably Deadlands.
Yeah.
we love it. We love it. Anyway, let's pick up where we left off. So you've made it to the actual outskirts of the city, beyond the industrial area. You found some outbuildings and some junkyards, and a couple of you have actually identified what look to be ruins. Not ruins like you may be familiar. It's not a temple. It's not any sort of, historic site. These look like dwellings, maybe some barns, but they don't fit with the very 90-degree angle, everything perfect buildings that you've seen so far. They're very rustic. Stone walls that are crumbling and wooden structures that appear to be either burnt or just decaying.
I think Athelstan will point that out to Breeze, whether or not they're like looking off in one other direction or whatever, and like point over there. I think that might be where we're headed.
Maybe. Probably.
Athelstan will try to go northwest.
Yep. Heading northwest, you would have to cross a field. The other thing that you did identify...
Oh, I was trying to like lean to one side and feel the tug to the northeast.
Oh, yes. You do feel that.
Yeah. He's like, yep, that's the way. Sorry, continue.
Across the fields, you do occasionally see what looks to be a sinkhole. Just the way the ground shifts. You're not so much seeing the hole itself. You feel like you'd have to get closer or have a different angle looking down at it to see them. But you can tell by the way the grass and the trees kind of tip inward towards these spaces.
Is this
Maybe
a
we go
wetland?
slow and stay very close to each other.
It doesn't look like a wetland. It looks more like a mixture of farmers' fields.
Yeah, but those can also be old wetlands.
Yeah, but
like historically speaking,
It just looks like a field.
It's
Does
just
it look like a dry land?
It's a dry field.
It's a
There is
dry
no
land.
wet.
Okay, a dry wetland. Got it.
West, are we going in the sinkhole or?
Which one?
You guys as good as mine.
Maybe you take out that fancy contraption that can detect things that we're looking for. What did she call it?
Lead detector?
Bleed. Why is it called bleed? No, I
Alright,
already
take out
asked
my
that
bleed
question.
detector and hand it to you. and step away.
He like stares at Quest when he like for a long moment, holding this device, and he just says, "See, I don't like that."
When you step away like that, it makes people nervous.
And he like
works better when it's not in my vicinity.
Why?
Are you bleed? You're
Otherwise,
bleed
they'll just
through, aren't
kick
you?
me. Something like that, yeah.
Since we're not supposed to be here, would we be a source of bleed?
Shouldn't.
I look down at myself.
Well, just use
You
the
didn't come
thing
through
and
the
we'll
rift
find out.
in one piece. You
I
came
look at the
through in
thing.
Many.
All right, well, I guess everybody fucking step back. I guess I can't get my left hand blown off twice.
Nobody is actively actually bleeding. I mean, people who bleed in this party, that is up to you to decide if you are bleeding currently, but you're not visibly bleeding anywhere.
No, I've only got a body and a brain mark. I'm fine.
Not what I meant.
Period.
I'm depressed.
Have you all synced up yet?
And I'm depressed.
I'm not role playing this, you guys. It's too close to real life. Just please move on.
Extremely autistic.
So you turn on the bleed device, bleed detection
Sure.
device?
Just describe this bleed detection device to me.
Of course. So what it looks like is a squarish box, rectangular box, let's say. It's about 2 inches thick from like top to bottom, about 3.5, 4 inches long, and about 3 inches wide. There is a set of antennae at the top, but they have a coil connecting them at the tips. On the face,
Can't spell antennae. Somebody help.
A-N-T...
A-E-N-N, or A-N-N-A-E.
That's too many ends. Oh no.
I don't know.
Sorry, I erased it like 4 times. I'm sorry.
That's okay. That's okay. That's okay.
Okay. I wrote 3 ends. Sorry.
On the face itself, there is a small, it's not a screen, but you could call it a screen. And it essentially has if you've ever seen an old school EMF detector, it has like a dial that goes back and forth. Yeah. And there is a section of it that goes into red. And that's sort of what you would use to navigate. There are more or less, yeah. There's a dial that would allow you to change the distance that it's tracking. And just from what you know of like magic in general, and you're sort of attributing this to magic, you think it's probably like a conal shape off the end of the detection device.
And you would be able, effect.
Yeah. And you would be able to kind of like narrow it down or make it wider.
Does it make the Star Trek noises?
No, it doesn't make any.
Does it make a radio noise like woo wee?
No.
So it's quiet. I don't like that.
No. It sounds more like a. Fuck, what are they called?
Like a low hum.
Sonar.
Nope.
Like a Geiger.
Geiger.
Okay.
Yeah, Geiger counter. Geiger. Yeah, that's literally what I was thinking.
It has like the clicky noises and like a. You know, when the dial goes into the red, it has more of a high pitched.
Great.
And then below the dial to like narrow down the field, there's like an on-off switch.
Cool. Does it say on-off? Or does he point that out? Okay, cool. Okay. Right. Everybody take a step back. Click.
Are you happy, Agni? You got your Fallout campaign.
That's true. I like this campaign.
So it is a mechanical kind of click. It kind of shunk into place. And then immediately thingy.
Okay.
Dial.
Needle.
Dial.
Needle. Thank you. Wow, words are hard. The needle kind of spikes up to red and then drops down to like 5. And you can see now that there's little numbers across the top, 0 to 50.
Okay.
Obviously,
like
50 being in the red.
Are we all hunched over like in fucking Scooby Doo?
He told everyone to take a step back because he wasn't sure if it was going to explode.
Well, he said he was taking a step back.
No, Athelstan.
No, Athelstan told everyone.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And then when it doesn't explode.
Yeah, sure.
We all Scooby Doo.
Backseat driving. Like he adjusts. Like he's like, okay, you'll adjust the dial and kind of like.
I just want to make sure we're grouped together when the DM puts us in a sinkhole.
Yeah, tilt. Yeah, that way we can all be in the same place at the same time for once. I need to stop. I need to not be left alone. Athelstan's getting very scared of that now.
I'm watching around us for people that are taking note of us being out in the middle of this freaking field.
And also in note of general, Athelstan trusts you to do that. Absolutely.
Make a survey roll.
Do I have to make any roll for this thing?
Not currently.
Okay.
It is pretty straightforward.
5.
Like you've already done the on-off switch, and you can see the dial has very much like a volume kind of marking. So it goes from like a little itty bitty sliver to like a larger sliver. So you can kind of logically figure out when it's at the big side, it's this wider range, whereas the smaller side is kind of funneling in.
It's like that time Tommen made an ampersand vibration increaser and made his cello very loud.
So you got a 5 on your survey.
I got a 6.
You got a 6 on your survey? Okay. So between the two of you, you don't see anyone in particular that's paying you any mind. There's not a whole lot of people out here in comparison to like when you were in the industrial area. The people who are here, it's vibes rather than what you would actually attribute them to. You feel like the people out here are farmers or like individual crafts people as opposed to factory workers or, master crafts people that would be in the city. Sort of, yeah. And again, that's just the sense you get because they're not dressed like you would expect. They're not in what you would attribute to regular farmers' clothing. It's again denims and canvases and leathers rather than cottons and canvases. Excuse me. With the bleed detector, Athelstan, you are able to more or less kind of move in a circle. And you can see the needle jump up every once in a while when you're facing a certain direction. But the problem is you appear to have that when you face northeast from your current position, when you're facing Quest, when you are facing south, and when you are facing directly north. So all of those positions ping something on the detector.
West, is there a place that's closest to where you found us?
It's still...
I did not hear that at all.
He's asking Affy.
It's still tugging a little bit northeast for everybody who was connected. For Quest, you would say it's probably like northeast north from where you are.
Athelstan will relay these directionals to the party, and Athelstan will say to Breeze, looks like he is bleeding. Good call.
When he saw that tick up were like they all similar strength, or were
Yeah, tell me the numbers.
some of
Yeah,
them
I love the numbers.
stronger, weaker?
The one to quest spiked up to like 45.
Shit.
But he's also like 10 feet from you.
True.
Yeah.
The one to the north was, let's say, 15. Northeast, 25.
South?
South was like 10. Between 5 and 10, so like 8-ish.
And we were looking for 4 rift. I mean, we were looking for 3 or 5. I forget how many we were supposed to end up looking for.
Right now, you've been set to close your own rift.
Okay, but I'm like just in general. I think we talked about it, but I can't remember.
I don't remember talking about how many we had, but
Oh, okay.
So Quest, do you know if these like readings are based on proximity, or are they based on like relative? Like
So a really
difficulty?
strong source from really far away might ping low. A low source really close up would ping really high.
Okay.
It's like finding the elements.
So it's kind of logarithmic, kind of linear. Yeah.
That's the feeling you get. It depends on the
Say
strength
big words.
versus the
Athelstan,
length.
Reich.
Yeah, it depends entirely on the. That's what Quest conveys to you. It depends entirely on the strength of the object or item or person or building, and the distance. But they're variables, and just because it says 25 for this one, it could actually be further out than the one that's at 15. But because it's a larger source, it pings higher.
All right. Let's go northeast here then. Careful step. Keli, keep an eye out. Razira, please do the same. You got good eyes.
Okay.
And Razira, stick with the group.
Yes, please do not leave us. And he like looks at Razira and he's like, look at me. I need you to look at me when I'm saying this. Do not leave this group under any circumstances unless I tell you to run. And in which case, if we all get separated for whatever reason, we'll meet back at the lighthouse. Not the lighthouse, fuck, what's it called?
The lighthouse.
The lighthouse.
But it's not an actual lighthouse.
Yeah. Okay, bye, Agni.
Wes disappears. He falls through a sinkhole like fucking Wile E. Coyote.
Just like a
Gets
couple
eaten by
of
a purple
feathers.
worm. Becomes purple worm shit.
Even though he is a human right now, like feathers just go. I love how Corvée said button button who's got the button.
Yeah.
I know.
Wow, your camera went weird.
Wow.
You're very pink.
I had a power flicker.
Oh, are you?
Your face. And a
Hello?
power flicker. Hello?
Abby,
Oh,
what
good.
are you doing to Agni's real life with your DM powers?
Nothing. It's just an electrical storm. Everything's fine.
Heat lightning. Is that why it dropped? That's why it became like 10 degrees hotter? I had to turn on the fan, and I'm sorry if anyone can hear it, but I'm not turning it off.
We can't hear it.
Okay, good.
Okay, so with Razira and Keli leading the way, I need you to make me a...
Oh no, they're watching our backs.
I thought
mean,
they
he
were
said-
leading the
They're leading
way.
us.
Oh yeah. Keeping an eye out and shit.
'Cause
Sorry.
They
yeah.
need to search.
You want me to lead the
and
way?
survey.
And they...
No. You keep an eye. You watch our backs.
Who is
You're
at the front?
Who's got good survey?
I have the 3.
Oh
3
shit.
dice.
Okay. I have only one survey. I say we put the.
I
Druid
have
in the
Centaur in the front.
I have 2 and the gold die.
Yeah. Have someone flanking the centaur. I thought you were talking. Never mind, Artemis. I thought you were talking, but you were just like moving your mouth.
What centaur?
The human
centaur.
who was what formerly known as a centaur. Human formerly known as centaur.
The human with the giant ass.
That dump truck.
I don't pretend to know how big everybody's in character asses are, so.
You've seen Athelstan's on more than one occasion in all that art that I've made, so
That is true.
he's
Other
got a
than
meaty
Athelstan's.
ass. Meat tea.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we
Yes.
can hear you now. Good.
Okay, I don't.
Am I
My
rolling
microphone
the
decided
survey?
to switch.
Yes, please. I would love if you could. We could hear you.
I just hit
I'm
myself in the
just
face.
confirming. The centaur who is no longer a centaur and who is at the front?
Razira.
Razira are at the front? Okay.
Yep, and I'll
So
be in
you-
the back.
You both can make me a survey roll.
Is there like? There's
Oh, I
not
got a
really
6.
Magic kind of a occult
I'm
roll.
going to use one of my drives for once.
Okay.
That would be an extra green or red die.
It would just be a regular die.
Okay.
Can I try? I would like to try something. Could I maybe make a sense roll since he's got this bleed detector, and Athelstan has a very poor habit of being overly empathic when it comes to sources of magic and shit like that. I'm trying to he you know how I have to like touch, taste, smell, and feel things to understand them.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say that's kind of like Athelstan, but like with like sources, I guess you could say.
Okay.
Because he doesn't understand quite exactly what bleed is supposed to be, but he's felt something at least because he did summon a knife, which was weird, but like not weird because he can do that anyway, but still.
Okay.
Okay. I rolled 3 die. The highest I rolled was a 2.
Oh my god.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
Good thing Atlas got a 6.
Yep.
So Athelstan, give me a sense roll.
I did. I rolled a 3 and a 6. I have 2 dice in it. I did not use any gilded or anything.
Okay, so that would give you a 6 then.
Yes.
And you can write down another drive from Crimson for the party to use.
Okay. Got it.
Okay.
Me and Rob got it.
So
Thank you, Crimson.
Atlas and Razira. Razira, you are very focused on what Athelstan said. Stay close to the party. Don't run away unless I tell you. If we get separated, go back to the lighthouse. But wait, what's a lighthouse? Is it that big building that's by the water, or the house that we came from? You're a little distracted.
House that we came from. I may not be telepathic in this world, but I can feel it.
Atlas, what did you get again? A 5
I
or a
got
6?
6.
A 6? Perfect. So you are, maybe not currently, but you are a druid. And knowing the land is part of that, even if you are a druid of the skies and the stars. You can tell that there are areas just based on how the grass is. And it's very tall grass. We'll say it's like up to the knee on you.
Oh, we can't see Razira.
That's another reason why Razira can't but Razira is also not like 2 feet tall. Razira is like 4'10", 4'11" here.
Mm-hmm. You just see like her eyes in a bun.
Yeah.
Well, you can see the area she's around because all the grass is compacted.
Yeah. So you can tell just by the way the grass is almost acting like there's just a small line of a crop circle. You can tell that space is probably not stable.
Hey guys, you see this? And I point to like one of them. Don't walk in places like this because you could say that the ground isn't stable.
Sinkhole.
Yeah, you could say that if you step in it, you will sink into a hole.
All I'm imagining is Razira starts falling in one, and then the bottom of her clothes catches, and she's just hanging there like.
No,
Reach down.
Razira!
Yeah, just reach down.
No!
She's just like, what? Where?
So we'll say that Atlas, you're able to kind of direct the group around anything that looks suspicious, ground-wise, while following Athelstan's lead with the bleed detection device. And Athelstan, you got a 5 on your sense?
6.
A 6 on your sense. Okay.
I figured that's what would work. Attune channel reveal.
Okay, so how do you attune to the bleed detection device? Because this is new to you.
I think, you know, when you use a light, like I think he would attribute it to the similarities of casting light in a dark corridor back when he couldn't see in the dark as well. Or
Okay.
I'd say like following, like when you're coming through the woods and when you're a kid and you see the lantern light on the gate, and that's what leads you back. I think he's like kind of keying into that kind of feeling, using it as a like literally the one that makes the direction, like following it like a tuning fork. He's got these druidic like warlocky kind of powers, or he did, and in working with the green and the black, that was very much a part of his natural world. So I think in kind of like, I think he's like probably got it really close to his face, and he's just incrementally moving that dial as they move, I think. Like a kid with a Game Boy.
Okay. So you're relying on the party kind of almost shuffling you where you need to be shuffled, so you avoid it because your focus is wholly on the detection device.
Yeah.
And you...
I think he's trying so hard to feel something.
Okay. So...
He feels nothing.
What you do feel is almost like this low thrumming from the device itself. There's this constant vibration, and you think it's related to the sound it's making. So that clicking, and then when it gets a little higher, it becomes more of a, not a screech, but a consistent tone. And as you're tuning into that,
like a radio,
but it's more your senses tuning in as opposed to you actually tuning the dial that's on it. You start to feel, it's not familiar in the sense that it is the green and the black, but you know the feeling of something otherworldly, something magical. And you start to feel that, and it begins in the device itself, but then you feel it kind of going up your actual arm, not your mechanical one, your actual arm. It's almost like it's going up the vein. And every once in a while, your own pulse seems to reflect in the device itself. And it just gives a in your hand.
How quick is his heart's going?
You only have one heart.
Okay, that's weird.
You're a human.
You have one heart, and it is, I don't know, what's a regular resting heart rate?
Okay, he's got a resting heart rate, got it.
But it's a little bit
Probably
elevated,
like 60.
because you are active. So like maybe 70?
69.
Sure, 69.
Nice.
Nice.
The funny number.
It's the weed number.
Yeah, the weed number.
Yeah, that's the weed number.
Yeah, that's the lead number.
As Atlas is like leading us across this field, are we able to get close enough to any of the like ruins?
Yes, you're passing by them as you're moving.
Can I like stop and examine them?
Absolutely. You can give me a focus roll.
I take it that we pause for you.
A 4.
Okay. So you have seen ruins before. You've seen ruins from your architectural vibes, your architectural eras. that you've seen. And this is similar to that. It's not as precise as the stuff in the city. It's not... It's familiar in that sense.
Okay.
And it's all
Like the stuff
different.
from the city, but older.
No.
No.
Well, older, but not like the stuff from the city. The materials are different. The construction type is different. Even with what little is left, you can tell that it is not from the city. It was likely whatever was here before the city.
West, what happened here?
West!
Oh, sorry, my mic was muted.
Quest, you know that the prison within the prison was built on an old domain. It was a domain that housed the first person to ever escape.
Relics from a bygone age.
So, does the buildings look like Darkon?
Yes.
I don't say that out loud. At least not at the moment.
Now you
But-
must use the stress mechanic.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I am taking the stress mechanic roll right now. My wisdom is not good.
I feel like something just clicked for a bunch of us right now.
Oh yeah.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway. Yep. Cool. Yeah. This is great. This is fine. This is fine.
Alice
This
doesn't
is
know
fine.
his own character, so.
How long were we out?
This
I
is
mean, why
fine.
me?
This is fine. Okay. Cool.
Okay. That's something to ask Moria about when we get back.
What?
I just saw Pasta's ear flickers. Aw, baby.
Yeah, she's
a baby.
demanding attention.
Yeah, they're stressed. What do you
Okay.
mean?
Just the history of this place. Should
I
keep
hate
going.
Yep. We go.
Okay. So continuing along, you continue to follow the bleed device. It gets to a point where you essentially come to a bleed device fork in the road. There's the one that's still leaning north, which has spiked up to, what was it before, 15?
It was 15 before. 15. Yeah, north.
Right. So it's spiked up to about 28.
Okay.
And you have the one to the northeast that is spiked up to 40.
I decreased the distance on the dial.
Okay. So that just helps you kind of narrow down the more direct route. It's not so much the distance itself, just kind of funnels it down from like a 60-foot range to like a 30-foot
Yeah,
range.
that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to like gauge whether
Are we still feeling the tug?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm trying not to pay attention to as much to the other points of interest.
Mm-hmm. So the northeast still has that tug in the middle of your chest.
Mm-hmm.
The north does not.
Okay.
And the northeast has spiked up to like the very bottom of the red line.
Oh boy. Okay. All right, we're close. Anyone coming up behind us or anything? Anybody?
Who's at the rear?
I'd really like to not
I
get
am.
jumped right
Eli.
now.
Okay. Make a survey.
Excuse me, pasta.
I need to roll dice.
No.
5.
5?
Nice.
You don't see anybody. You're a fair bit from the... I use road in a loose term. It was like a dusty road.
Gravel.
A little bit more specific than a trail. It was obviously cleared to be used for carts and
Footpath.
wider. Like two vehicles would be able to pass each other, but there's no cobblestone, there's no paving, there's nothing like that. Yeah, it's just dust and
a lonely road.
Country bones.
So you're a fair bit away from the road, in quotations, itself.
Mm-hmm.
You don't see anybody following you.
Are there still like sounds of nature though? Like it's not like deathly quiet like we've encountered before.
No, it's not deathly quiet. Sound wise, obviously you have your own footfalls, but there's like the sound of a breeze, not that breeze, through the grass, and you know the trees
swish.
that are here. You can hear like bird song and insects.
Okay, just making sure that it's not like one of those scenarios again. We've been there before.
No, it's not that unnatural quiet. That's too quiet.
All right. I guess we're gonna be swishing through the grass looking for this damn thing. Let's go.
And
North or
remember,
northeast?
don't step on the weird patches because you'll fall down.
They're on an animation cell. We won't do that.
Okay.
I'm holding Alt to show it's glowing yellow.
Yep. Northeast. We go northeast where the tug is.
Yeah.
Okay.
We follow the lighted path.
All right. So as you're heading northeast, Athelstan, you can see that the meter, the lever, the needle is kind of jumping between 35 and 45. Pretty rapidly. Even though you've dialed it down to like a 30-ish foot cone ahead of you. And it just keeps doing that.
It's pulsing.
Quest, do you know what that means?
It's pulsing.
We ripped a hole in something to get in here, so I'm not really that surprised.
Most likely multiple items in the
Sources.
same area.
Overlapping auras. Ripple
I like kind of like ease towards Quest to see what the count would like kind of if the count is either the 45 or the 35 just to see.
When you kind of move to him, it's like the 45 that it was earlier.
Okay, so it's him. That's the that I can safely assume
But he's
that
behind
the
you.
45 is him.
He's behind us though.
And you're pointing forward.
Aha,
Right?
okay, cool.
It goes out in the cone.
Yep, gotcha. All right. So if I point one direction, which direction does it stick closer to the 35, and which direction sticks closer to the 45?
From where you are right now, the
Yes.
second you kind of shift off of that space, it drops right down to like 5.
Like
Back
off
in,
of-
starts doing the wavy again.
To the
Go the other
side?
direction, right down to 5.
Okay. Tally ho.
So we're picking up 2 things
Possibly.
in the same direction.
Or there's a creature down there.
Down where? And
In the
that leads into
sinkhole.
Affy's description.
There's no down. You're on a flat plane that has sinkholes. Ahead of you, you do not see any indicator of a sinkhole or a sinkhole to be made.
All right. I guess we very carefully continue forward, kind of doing that thing where you like, where you scrape when you're in unsteady ground and you like move your foot close across the ground instead of like
shuffle instead of
Yeah,
step.
yeah.
Okay. With Razira and Atlas at the lead, you are able to avoid any further movements towards sinkholes. Atlas in particular directs you around a smaller one that looks like it's starting to develop. And as you're walking by, you can actually see it's close enough to you that you can like look into it over the grass. And again, you can see the grass is leaning inward. And then in the center of it, it has sunken away entirely. And looking down, does anybody look down?
Sure.
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 I mean, Rosaria is down, but can she see? That's the question.
You would be able to see because you are taller than the grass.
No, I mean over the freaking clothes, like.
Oh.
Through her muff.
I can't put my arms down still. So Athelstan and Atlas in particular, you understand on a earthbound level as people who are connected to the green in general, that the sinkhole is generally a vacant space that has lost all structural integrity and can no longer support the weight of the dirt on top of it. Either it was moved by underground water, or there was an air pocket of sorts. This looks like a mixture of the two. It's almost like somebody had a field that was covered in something, and they just put a layer of tarp over it. Or turf over it.
That's
The
a
ground
lot of
is
sod.
fallen away, and you can see down there is what looks to be a river underneath the ground. And the only thing holding up the area around the sinkhole looks to be the roof of a building.
It's the same place! I hate this! Okay. Anything of recognition piqued by this roof that we see? This building we see? These buildings that we see next to this river that we see? Anything moving? Anything interesting? I don't know.
Everybody make a focus roll.
Okay.
Hey, what roll?
Focus.
Focus.
Negative. Okay.
All right, which gilded die should I use? Pinecone,
Ooh, that's a
Athelstan,
natural
or
6.
Gooey?
I got a 2.
But I used a drive to get mine, so.
All right, I'm gonna use my Gooey one. Don't fuck me, Kim. Ah, hell yeah, 5.
Okay, so 5.
I think that's a 5. Yeah, that's a 5.
Eli?
6.
Breeze got a 6. Razira got
It's
a...
on my gilded.
Atlas?
I got a 6 on the gilded die.
Nice. Did you use a drive at all?
No.
Okay.
Yep.
I did.
Okay, if you crit on your gilded die, you get a drive back. Quest, you got a 5? Okay. 5 and 6s. You recognize this as a familiar bar.
Shit, we're in Rafales.
No. No.
Is this
Athelstan
Millie?
just like,
It's the bar that you met Millie in, yes.
Yeah, Millie's bar.
Athelstan like stares down into it, and then like I imagine he kind of like not quite across the sinkhole, but he like looks up across at Keli.
Keli, as you're
You can see
looking...
that she knows.
As you're looking down into this space, Keli, you see a small patch of earth that's been
No!
opened.
Don't you bring that ring back.
You know what used to be there. It's not there anymore.
Ravalis.
And you have another group drive from Liz.
Did we bring Darkon with us? When we jumped?
I think we broke Darkon when we jumped.
I think Darkon just naturally died.
I think
I
that
lied.
Is what happens when something is eaten by the mist?
I think what well, actually, out of character, real quick. Did Quest say out loud that it was the one who escaped first? That this was a place that we went to?
No,
I was the one that figured that out.
No, yeah.
What Quest said was it was built on the back of another civilization.
Okay.
From a bygone era.
And then when I looked at the building, I realized it was from Darkon.
Mm-hmm. Wait, what was the thing about the first prisoner who escaped, though?
That's Athelstan's dad.
Yeah, that's what. Was that said out loud though to the group? Because I don't think Alice.
No, that was just a quest.
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure because I'm
Mhm.
like, yeah, okay. Alice would say, Athelstan Keela, how are you feeling?
What?
I don't know what to feel at the moment.
Oh, it did. Sorry, it cut out. I didn't hear what you said.
No, Atlas asked how you guys are feeling. He didn't
Oh,
give his
okay.
own theory. He cares more about what Athelstan and Keela are going through.
It was already broken. This place was lost to the mist well before we jumped. You saw them. This place was lost. And everybody who was still there was lost long before. If anything that escapes or doesn't exist anymore comes here, it's not our fault. It's not your fault. And don't you dare fucking make this your fault. I need you.
None of that matters right now. The only thing we can do is deal with what's in front of us. This is what we were sent here to do. Let's do it. You know as well as I do what was there.
You left that behind. It doesn't need to tangle with you again.
I don't know that I'm going to get that choice. Doesn't matter. We need to deal with whatever is here. Does it look like if we can find a place to anchor a rope, like we could get down there?
Is that where we're supposed
Like,
to go?
is there-
Guy counter.
Is there a place to, like, stand down there?
Yeah.
Okay.
What you're seeing below is Ravalis.
Yeah.
Like,
Just has a bog on
okay.
top of it. Well, like a field.
Yeah, essentially.
But is the counter, the device pointing essentially down there? Or is it like, does it spike when he points it down there?
Yes.
Ah!
But it remains spiking when you have it up and level with the ground that you're on.
Yeah.
So it might just be the general area. It could be on the surface. We didn't explode out of a sinkhole, did we? He says to Quest.
Quest was not there when you came into this realm. He was dispatched when there was a spike in bleed, essentially.
I mean, we don't see anything on the surface other than other sinkholes and
knee-high
a couple
grass.
of ruined buildings, right? Yeah, so logically it would be down
Well, it could be hidden
below.
amongst the grass or the ruins, too. Let's exhaust
I mean,
our
we
options
can
before we
check
go.
first, but
Let's go exhaust our options before we go spelunking into a place long gone. And deep and dark, and wet and dark, and wet and dark. I can't see down there. I don't like that.
why we got a lamp? None of us can.
Being human sucks. How did Alaric do
We
this?
are playing with new rules.
Being human fucking sucks. These rules suck. Humans are poorly built.
Can confirm.
Like he looks around at all of his human yet previously non-human party members. Being a human sucks. Sucks.
Well,
This
let's
is
get
hell.
to it then.
Cool. We sweep the area.
Okay. The detector continues to jump between that 35-45 on the needle. And as you're moving around this space, you can see other small to medium-sized sinkholes that give you glimpses of other parts of Revalis. You can see what looks to be like a familiar rookery. You see a stable that's outside the city. You see some fishing huts that are along the lake.
Do we see parts of Van Richten's house?
Yeah, that's
It's
the
That's
rookery.
the rookery.
Okay.
Are we able to narrow it down at least in some semblance of a smaller area?
As you're moving
Where-
deeper onto this space that seems to be Revalis, like the entirety of Revalis, it just seems to be this entire space is jumping between 35 and 45.
Fuck. Okay. Did we not? And we don't find anything on the surface aside.
You find some more
Rocks and grass and
ruins.
shit.
You find like some of the taller buildings like Van Richten's. Essentially like half of the second floor and the roof are above ground. But
so his
it's
library?
His bed? And his
yeah,
library?
like the library, the bedrooms, the study, but they're not fully above the surface. And whatever is above the surface is like desiccated and starting to crumble. A slave to the elements, essentially.
But is there anything worth salvaging? Like
Doesn't look like it.
Like arcane texts?
No.
I can't say text.
You're muted, Agni.
I know, I'm talking on the phone.
Oh, okay.
Wow. Way to pay attention.
Anything above ground looks to have been in the elements for decades, century or more. Anything that would have been useful, like an arcane text, long destroyed.
Is it reasonable to assume that the flight of stairs that were at leading up to the second floor wouldn't probably be stable enough to descend?
It's hard to say because they would be beneath the surface.
Exactly. Like
you would have to get a better idea by looking at the structure itself. But most of it, other than that half a floor and like the attic space, are below ground.
Okay. All right. Pick your favorite sinkhole.
Try to find one that has something that looks at least kind of sturdy on the outside that we can attach a rope to and reasonably get down.
Trees or anything.
There are some trees near enough by that you would be able to tie off. Some of the taller structures, like Van Richten's house, they do have the vertical support beams that you could probably tie off to in order to go down into one of the sinkholes nearby.
We do it.
Which one are you going down? How are you going down?
Who wants to rappel? Who wants to rappel off a tree? Who wants to rappel off of Van Richten's? All for rappelling off a tree?
Which one looks safest?
That one. Athelstan points to the safest looking tree.
Like out of the two
No,
options
not-
or a specific?
Not safest tree of the options. Which
Oh.
one looks safest?
Which one looks safest?
Yeah.
Okay, that's an Affy question.
There are no, like, really big trees that would have deep roots, but the vertical posts, the vertical support beams in Van Richten's house, they have been exposed to the elements for an undeterminate amount of time. There is a level of dry rot that you can even see as you kind of brush a hand across it. It's got that kind of sticky, mulchy peel away just from the touch. But then it has more of a solid core deeper in. That said, you don't know how it will translate structurally when that post is partially above ground and partially below. Like, is there a weak point or whatever?
I vote tree.
Yeah,
Tree.
I say we just
I think
go
the
with the tree.
might be, yeah.
Yeah, Atlas, as Atlas says, yeah, I normally vote tree.
We can always, the people who are still on the surface can act as a counterweight, and the last person to descend, we can act as a counterweight down below, so it'll be safe either way. Let's do it. And we do it.
Okay.
Hell
Who
yeah.
is going down
We're
first?
finally gonna transport via plants.
Hey!
Name of the episode.
Transport via.
Who's going down first?
Go ahead, Duality. What'd you say?
I'm trying to say that Zero would probably be the easiest and the lightest, but she can barely move.
You're gonna have to take some of that off, hon. I have a feeling you're gonna need to move down here.
I will build the coziest little campfire for you to curl your kitty self all up next to tonight.
With a sigh, she starts taking off the excess layers.
We watch the goose pimples rise up on her exposed skin.
Okay.
She's
So
not happy.
You're going down first?
She's the lightest, so it'd probably make the most sense.
Okay.
All right, we fix her with a headlamp.
You don't have a headlamp. You just
or
have
lights. The light, yeah.
How?
Like an actual headlamp. I was being facetious.
I have to go to the bathroom, but Atlas would volunteer.
Is it what kind of light do we have?
Sorry, Maggie, what were you saying?
I have to go to the bathroom, but Atlas would volunteer to be counterweight or go last, depending on how it works out. He doesn't like climbing, so.
Okay. Yeah. Sounds good. So how are you connecting the light so Razira is not going down into darkness?
Does she have a belt? And if she doesn't,
yeah.
I will make her one.
Belt, suspenders.
Yeah.
There's belts on the art.
Yeah, belt pouch. Yes, like we'll affix it to her belt.
Okay.
Razira. You can just fall down, but you're gonna rappel down.
You're gonna give me a move roll, Razira.
We do it backpacker style too. There's like a crotch rope and everything.
I will let you take an additional drive because your party is basically helping you rappel down.
Okay, so how many dice is that?
Let's see. So you're going to have 3 total die, and then you can spend more drive if you want. You also have a drive in the party sheet that you would be able to use.
So 3 die. Please don't roll all ones. I got a 6.
Nice. So with the help of your party, you are trussed up, and you descend into the darkness.
It had me worried because the first die I saw was a 1.
Oh, God. The sinkhole that you've descended into is on Van Richten's property. It's in the back area, and as you're moving down, it's dark down here other than the sort of shafts of light that come down from other sinkholes. The building itself is just a silhouette, sort of like at the edge of your lantern light. And you can't really make out any specific details about it. Like, you can't tell the state of it or anything like that. But down here, other than the movement of water, it's very quiet. There's no insects or birdsong or the movement of air. It has a sticky wetness to it, but it's cold. And then you hear it. This soft ticking noise that was almost like the bleed detection device. But it's echoed with a little bit of a hiss. Almost like a scarab. That's where we're gonna end tonight's session.
I knew you were gonna do that.
Knew it. Knew it.
It's an on keg. Just kidding.
20 past, or 20 to 12.
God, what if it's an on keg?
It's
Or
Bill.
it's Bill. Hey, stop sharing my brain cell. You
No,
stop.
it's my brain cell. I needed it to run the game tonight.
But you didn't sign it out.
Yes, I did. Mondays, 8:30 onward.
Oh, you're right.
I get it on Friday nights.
Yep.
Which explains why my party does what they do.
Yeah. Stick around for the raid. We're gonna go. You know what? We're gonna throw it to Crimson. Crimson did send you guys a couple drives to help you out tonight.
Hell
yeah. It looks like he's playing Star Wars: Knights of the Old Republic.
Hell yeah.
So give him a follow if you haven't already. We'll be back on Friday for Fixious Titans. Don't forget to check out Cedar over on DM Jeremy's channel tomorrow for Into the Weird West, which is Deadlands Savage Worlds.
I'm playing Southern Belle.
Don't forget our sponsors, Canadian Dice, and our partnership with Monument Studios for their Fantasy Plus Kickstarter. All of the music that you heard tonight, other than on our intro and Be Right Back screens, is from them. So lots of spooky vibes. They've got a whole bunch of stuff. They actually have an entire soundtrack that would work for Into the Weird West. So
They do.
It's pretty awesome. Oh no, Crimson. Are you just going to tell me that you logged off? Oh no, you're still playing. Okay, we're good. We're good. All right, so don't
I
forget
love
to
that they're streaming and watching us.
it's called multitasking, bitch.
Yeah, I do that.
Hello, I have ADHD. I do it all the time. You should see how I edit.
And
it is appalling how they edit. It is appalling
It
and a
is.
disaster.
I cannot do it.
It is disgraceful. It is unbecoming of a fellow autism.
It is not that bad.
Shut the fuck up.
Don't forget, Spooktober is coming. If you want to
Oh,
play,
not you, Rob.
if you
No,
want
no,
to
that's what I
GM,
mean.
reach out to us. Let us know. We will see you when we see you. Thank you for watching. Have a good night.
Stay slutty.